In this installment, we're going to be going over the NBA bets for Wednesday, March 19th. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Chef D, and I'm here to bring you the winning ingredients for our March 19th NBA slate we got going on. But before we deep dive into that, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and Twitter at MetsNetsG, MetsNetsD. Don't forget about that TikTok at Chef_D91, and don't forget about that Patreon. Right now, we're at the homepage of the YouTube channel, currently at 9.63 thousand subscribers. This is the road to 10K, and we're well on our way because you guys are showing up each and every single day. If you already subscribed, continue to like and comment. That helps the YouTube algorithm so we go to a much broader audience. All right, now you guys missed it on Monday. If you were not on the Patreon here, we had some very good plays here. I gave out two parlays: Knicks Rockets to 2.5 and the Pistons on the money line. That was a plus 112. I gave out Knicks and the Pacers plus 7.5, even with everyone out. You stayed on that play. I stayed on that play. The Timberwolves are way too hot here. And this was my main parlay here: Knicks and plus 7.5 with the Pacers, and we sprinkled on the money line as well at plus 260. And now I got it early. This is way before Tyrese Halliburton was out. I could have got it at a better number at plus 300, but I put this bet in early in the morning, and that cashed as well. Pacers beating the Timberwolves in overtime. All right, so if you guys want more winning plays, if you want to get ready for March Madness and the future for March Madness and the daily plays for March Madness, click on that link provided down below in the description. You're getting full access to daily bets, future bets, and access to that group chat that goes off 24/7. I'm so excited to announce I have partnered with BetStamp and SIGNUP Expert to provide you guys with an easier way to sign up with any sportsbook in your area. If you go to the link in the description down below, you will be directed to this page you see here. It automatically displays all available sportsbooks in your area plus their current promotions. For example, you could take the plays given in this video and apply it to any other sportsbooks you don't currently have and reap the rewards. Now let's get into the slate. First game up here in Gainbridge Fieldhouse. We have the Indiana Pacers 38-29 going against the Dallas Mavericks here 33-36. If we're looking at the current odds for this matchup here, Pacers home favorites minus 325 on the money line with the comeback of the Mavericks at a plus 260. Point spread all the way at an 8.5. Total at 233.5. It was just 232. It is currently rising as of this moment. All right, no public bet percentage as of right now, but if we're looking at the injury report, tons of injuries obviously on the side of the Dallas Mavericks. None of their important people. No Anthony Davis, no Kyrie Irving, and it's just pretty much this cast and crew here of a G League team around Klay Thompson. So Brandon Williams, game time decision. Kai Jones, game time decision. Caleb Martin out. Jaden Hardy is game time decision as well. And as you know, AD is out. Pacers, Jarris Walker, game time decision. Pascal Siakam, Tyrese Halliburton, Johnny Furpey, and Aaron Naismith. Majority of these guys missed the previous game here. They're most likely going to play in this one. Okay, so definitely stay tuned to news on both sides, but mainly on the Dallas Mavericks side. All right, so Dallas Mavericks, since all these injuries, they have been struggling, losing 4 out of their last 5 games, playing tough against Philly, but losing, getting blown up by Houston, getting blown out by San Antonio, and losing by 9 against Phoenix. All right, Pacers, on the other hand, have been playing better basketball, beat Minnesota, beat Philly, and beat Milwaukee here. They're coming on this game here after a 3-game road trip, coming back home where they've been hot at. And let's see, their home record is 20-9. So this is going to be a clean sweep here. I think they keep things rolling. Pacers on the money line. Pacers cover the 8.5. And for the total here, 233.5. The first one matchup here in November went over, obviously. We get it. Everyone was healthy then. The same thing is going to happen. So what happened to the Dallas Mavericks team is their defense has really suffered. They've given up 130, 133, and 126, and 129, and 125 in the last 3 games. They're giving up remarkable numbers defensively. Very bad. This is a Swiss cheese defense. This Indiana team should blow the Dallas Mavericks out the water. Clean sweep here, and give me the over 233.5. Look at it, 234.5. Get it now. Get it now. In Kia Center here, we have the Orlando Magic 32-37 going up against the Houston Rockets 44-25. Looking at the current odds for this matchup right here, we have the Rockets as road favorites -140 with the comeback of the Magic at a +115. Point spread at a 2.5. Total points at 209.5. Full public bet percentage here, 74% of the bets, 84% of the money on the side of the Houston Rockets money line. For the point spread, it's split down the middle for the bets. But for the percentage of money here, 69% of the money, that's the sharps, on the side of Houston to cover the 2.5. And for the total, 86% of the bets, 92% of the money towards the over 209.5. All right, looking at the injury report here for both of these teams, Houston Rockets, Amen Thompson is out, and Reed Shepherd is going to be out as well. For the Magic, they might have Cole Anthony back as a game time decision, but Jalen Suggs is out for the year, and Moritz Wagner is out for the year. Now, these two teams are in completely total opposite directions. Magic struggling to find them consistency, and right now they won 3 out of the last 5 games, which is a little bit of a positive note. But the Rockets here are on fire, winning 7 in a row. They're trying to go for their 8th win in a row, going up against the Orlando Magic here. All right, so they played already this season. That was the Rockets on the money line at home. They covered the spread and it went under 210.5. With this particular total here, they bumped it down 1 point. I'm going to go towards the over 209.5. Both of these teams offensively have been definitely taking it to a whole nother level here. Scored 133 against Phoenix, 144 against Philadelphia. And as you can see, that Rockets defense was a little shaky in that particular game. So I definitely see a little bit more of a back and forth environment here. Plus, Orlando is finally getting their offensive woes out of the way. Wagner is back to scoring, and Paolo Banchero has been playing much better basketball as of late. So give me the over on the 210.5. But ultimately, I think the Houston Rockets continues with this winning streak. Give me the Rockets on the money line. In Kaseya Center here, we have the Miami Heat 29-39 going up against the Detroit Pistons 38-31. Looking at the current odds for this matchup here, we have the Pistons as road favorites -220 on the money line with the comeback of the Heat at a +180. Point spread at a 5.5. Total points at 217.5. Public bet percentage here, 81% of the bets, 86% of the money all over Detroit. For the point spread, 76% of the money, 78% of the bets here on the side of Detroit to cover. And for the total points, 79% of the bets, 86% of the money towards the over 217.5. All right, so for this matchup here, looking at the injury report, starting off with the Detroit Pistons, Jaden Ivey is going to be out. For the Miami Heat, we're waiting on news about Andrew Wiggins and Alec Burks. Both for those guys are game time decisions. Nikola Jovic is out, and Drew Smith is out for the year. All right, so these two teams are going in opposite directions. We have the Heat in currently an 8-game losing streak. This is the longest losing streak under Coach Eric Spoelstra in his whole entire tenure. So that is definitely bad right there. But on the bright side here, the win should be coming anytime soon. All right, this team and Eric Spoelstra is not that bad. Okay, it's not that bad. All right, for the Pistons, they've won 3 out of their last 5 games, blowing out the Pelicans in their last matchup. All right, so between these two teams here, they already played 3 times already. 2 games went towards Detroit, 1 game went towards Miami, and both of these teams tend to play very tightly. And technically, in this series, the Miami has been the better team. All right, the last 2 matchups, Miami in both of those games took the Detroit Pistons to overtime. And that is the only reason why these 2 games, the last 2 games, have gone over the total, is because of overtime. All right, so we have a total at 217. They put it back down properly where it's supposed to be, because usually when these 2 teams meet up, we're looking at a game 210 total points and below. All right, the 108, 95, 104, 101, 106, 98. Those were the 3 games before the 2 overtimes. All right, so in this particular spot here, I love the total under. All right, the way that Miami's going to have an opportunity in their home is going to be solid defense, make it ugly like they did earlier in that game against the Knicks. They just had Karl Anthony Towns go off. That's the reason why they didn't have enough to stop him. All right, so for this particular spot here, love the under 217.5. And for the best play, the best value, give me the Miami Heat at home as underdogs plus 5.5 with the points. Definitely love this spot here for redemption for the Heat. Give me the points in this particular one. In Toyota Center here, we have the Minnesota Timberwolves 40-30 going up against the New Orleans Pelicans 18-51. Looking at the current odds for this matchup here, we have the Timberwolves at home minus 700 on the money line with the comeback of the Pelicans at a plus 500. Point spread at a 12.5. Total points at 227.5. Public bet percentage 95% of the bets, 85% of the money towards Minnesota. For the point spread, 61% of the bets, 66% of the money towards Minnesota to cover the 12.5. And for the total points, 75% of the bets, 73% of the money towards the over 227.5. Looking at the injury report here for both of these teams, starting things off with the Pelicans. As soon as it loads up for you. All right, so clean bill of health here on the Minnesota Timberwolves. No issues there. For the New Orleans Pelicans, Trey Murphy is out for the season. That's another big hit to this team here. Brandon Boston is out. Herbert Jones out for the year. DeJounte Murray out for the year. So this is a really decimated team around Zion Williamson and CJ McCollum for the Pelicans. And the Timberwolves are coming off a embarrassing loss against the Pacers where they sat all their starters. All right, so this is a perfect spot for me that we're going to get back on the right side with the Minnesota Timberwolves, who were just on a very long win streak, and they on the second game of back-to-back, came up short in that game against the Pacers. They got a little bit shocked there. For this particular spot here, I'm going to be going with the Timberwolves to cover the 12.5. I'm going to post the 9.5. I always post the 9.5. So Timberwolves minus 9.5 to win by 10. And for the total in this particular spot here, there's no defense coming up on the side of the Pelicans here. I see a big number coming from the Minnesota Timberwolves. I even like the Minnesota Timberwolves team total over if you want to be a little bit different there. I will go with that. I will go with the over on the total as well of 227.5. They will be facing each other again in a day or two, but we'll get to that when we'll get to in this one. Timberwolves cover and over 227.5. In Paycom Center here, we have the Oklahoma City Thunder 56-12 going against the Philadelphia 76ers 23-45. Looking at the current odds for this matchup here, Thunder at home, nice size favorites here, minus 425 on the money line with the comeback of the 76ers at a plus 320. Point spread at a 9.5. Total points at 230.5. Looking at the public bet percentage here, 93% of the bets, 94% of the money all over OKC. For the point spread, 89% of the bets, 92% of the money on OKC to cover. And for the total points, 81% of the bets, 94% of the money towards the over 230.5. Looking at the current injury report for both of these teams, the 76ers dealing with a lot of issues. Obviously, no Tyrese Maxey, no Joel Embiid, no Paul George. This is the quit and grind show here with the Philadelphia 76ers. Kelly Oubre is a game time decision. Adam Bona is out. Kyle Lowry's out. Lonnie Walker's out. And Gershon Yabusele is a game time decision. For the Thunder, Dang is going to be out. Kason Wallace, game time decision. Isaiah Hartenstein, game time decision. Luguentz Dort is out. And Jalen Williams is out. All right. So the only thing that matters in this spot here is SGA. SGA is going to be in this game. SGA is going to play against a bunch of backups here. The Thunder are red hot right now, winning 4 out of the last 5 games. It's the total opposite with the 76ers losing 4 out of the last 5 games. In this particular spot here, they already played one time before. That was a blowout win from the Thunder, and that was on the road. I see the very same thing here. Do not get caught up of what you saw in that Houston game between the 76ers in that 2-game stretch. They beat Dallas, and then they kept it close against Houston, taking them to overtime. This is a whole different can of beans here when we're talking about the OKC Thunder and how dominant they have been. This is going to be a blowout here, all right? Plus, with this elite defense, they're going to create turnovers with this very young team here with the Philadelphia 76ers. And this should be an easy cover here on the point spread, all right? 76ers are going to struggle to score. That's why I like the under 230.5. I think we have a very similar situation as we seen in that first game, 118-102. That hits the under. That shows the cover as well. It's going to be something very similar to that, where the Thunder pressure is going to be a big problem for this young cast and crew here for the 76ers, and that's going to relate to very easy buckets and fast break situations for the Thunder. So Thunder minus 9.5 and the under 230. In Frost Bank Center area, the San Antonio Spurs 28-39 going against the New York Knicks here 43-24. Looking at the current odds here, we have the Knicks as road favorites minus 350 on the money line, with the comeback of the Spurs at a plus 280. Point spread at 8.5. Total points at 229.5. Full game public bet percentage here, 91% of the bets, 93% of money all over the New York Knicks. For the point spread, 75% of the bets, 77% of the money all over the Knicks to cover the 8.5. And for the total points, 82% of the bets, 85% of the money towards the over 229.5. All right. So looking at the injury report here, give me 1 second. Starting off with the New York Knicks, we have Mitchell Robinson, game time decision. Jalen Brunson is still out, and Ariel Hawkporty, who's their rookie center, he's out as well. For the San Antonio Spurs, David Duke is out. Jordan McCullough is going to be a game time decision. Charles Bassey's out. De'Aaron Fox is out for the year, and Victor Wembanyama is out for the year as well. So this is going to be the young nucleus of San Antonio Spurs that we know from last year and the previous seasons, without Victor Wembanyama, obviously. All right. Now, these two teams have already played earlier in the season in December. That total was 114-117. That was the Knicks winning on the money line. The Spurs covered the 8.5 on the road, and it went over 222.5. If we're looking at the current total here at 229, they jumped it up here almost to 230 points. They have gone over this current total in literally 5 out of the last 5 games. Okay, so the way this Knicks defense has been playing, the way that Spurs still can put up a nice number here. They scored 119 against New Orleans, 134 against Charlotte. They scored 126 and 129 against Dallas in back-to-back games. So I like a high-scoring environment here, back and forth, coming down to the wire. I see this Knicks game here very similarly to that Portland one that came down to the wire in overtime. It was a back-and-forth type environment. So give me the over on the total of 229.5 between the Spurs and the Knicks. Ultimately, I think the Spurs can keep this close. All right. Ultimately, the Knicks probably win, but 8.5 is just too many points for me with the Spurs team at home. All right, especially with the Knicks, I do not trust them to cover an 8.5 spread on the road. All right, maybe if it was home, but on the road is a different story in this particular spot. So for our plays on this Wednesday slate, remember, if you disagree or agree, let me know in that comment section down below. If you guys want to sign up for the Patreon, if you want to get ready for all the March Madness stuff, all right, you click on that link, get locked in right now with the community. You're getting access to daily bets, future bets. The future is already out, and access to that group chat that goes off 24/7. It's your boy Chef D. I'll be back very soon, and peace out.